from Milwaukee, correct, Austin?
Yes, sir.
Do you follow the Packers?
I'm a big sports fan. I follow all the major sports of Milwaukee. Packers, Brewers, Bucks. Yes, sir.
Did you have any favorites growing up?
Man, favorites. I mean, as a Brewers fan, growing up when I did in the early 80s, you had the Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Jim Gantner trio that, played there forever, right? And so, those are some of my guys. It was actually kind of weird. I was a bit of a Chicago Cubs fan growing up, simply because I would watch Mr. Rogers at noon, and then right after that, you'd have the Chicago Cubs who always play afternoon games. So as a baseball fan, I started watching the Cubs at an early age, and you got drunken Harry Carey being very entertaining, and so back then they were kind of the lovable losers. So it was and they were in the National League, the Brewers were in the American League, so I can kind of root for both. As far as Packers go, do I have any favorite Packers? Oh man, I don't know. I think the cool thing with the Packers, right? Like, it's one of those franchises that the franchise always kind of transcends any individual player. And you see they've had guys like some of the greatest of all time, Reggie White, Brett Favre, but they've come and gone. And so I think the Packers' loyalty is to the team. I'm part owners. They're one of the only teams owned by their actual fans, right? You can buy stock in the team, which helps support the team. It's the only pro sports team that does that. So I think that's just a unique relationship. And as far as the Milwaukee Bucks go, man, I mean, they've got a superstar in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and how refreshing to have someone that talented at that level of superstardom be so humble and down to earth. He came from very humble beginnings, and he really appreciates and I think is grateful for everything that he has, which is kind of refreshing to see with young athletes who have so much power, money, and influence.
And it's impressive you know how to say the name. That's not the easiest name to say. Is he the Greek freak?
Yeah, the alphabet. He's got all sorts of names, but now he's just going to be honest, right? I mean, he'll get the Madonna treatment of one name. Everybody's going to know who Giannis is, and but even after a few years in the league, I still hear that name being butchered left and right. So not easy.
Do you own a cheesehead or ever worn one?
Yeah, I've worn one a time or two, but usually after copious amounts of alcohol.
And I didn't know that about the stock. Do you own some stock then in the Packers?
Yeah, so it's really interesting, right? Like, you can buy, shareholders, right? You can buy stock and you're a shareholder. You don't get voting rights,
Yeah, I think the Celtics did that. I don't think they do that anymore, but I think they used to.
Yeah, so I bought and purchased one, some years back, and for my nephew as an early birthday gift, and I think my dad's got some too, and again it's an interesting concept, and I think it's kind of cool what makes the Packers unique. And if you've ever been to Green Bay, there's really nothing in Green Bay, and so when you go from Milwaukee to that stretch about 2.5 hours up to Green Bay, that whole economy, right, is all because of the Packers, so it's really cool to see a professional sports team thriving in a smaller town, just kind of blue collar America, and it's nice to see it be so successful in the relationship it has with the community and the people.
Another Packers fan, Silas Young from Milwaukee. Have you ever trained or worked with him?
Oh, many times, and and I almost felt bad when I walked into Las Vegas Ring of Honor show that I kind of omitted him, because they just had I know that him and Kenny King were going back and forth with this television championship, and on that night, Kenny was the better man. But hey, I know Silas feels like he still has unfinished business, so I wasn't trying to exclude him. I'll step in there with both of those guys if they're man enough, and I know Silas thinks he's the last man standing, so he can stand in the ring with me and Kenny King, and if he thinks he should be the Ring of Honor television champion, I'll take them both on. That's fine. But I've always been. I've known Silas, going way back, since really early in his career, and it's great to see him, still competing at a high level, really finding who he is as a professional wrestler and being successful doing it.
Yeah, that leads up, because I was going to ask you about that, and you sort of answered that, because he's going to battle Kenny King at Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor for the TV title, and I was going to ask you if you had your eye on that match and possibly be there.
I mean, I'll be there. Everyone's going to be in New Orleans, right? I'll be there. Whether don't know yet. Again, I've issued the challenge, and I'm just waiting for somebody to accept it or not. You know, I've issued challenges out to NWA champion Nick Aldis. I've issued challenges now, obviously, to Kenny King, who's the Ring of Honor television champion. I should be competing for the House of Hardcore Television Championship Finals, but unfortunately, because of scheduling changes, I was taken out of that tournament. Unfortunately, so yeah, like, you know, if I'm gonna be the belt collector, you got to keep collecting belts. You got to keep looking for them somewhere. So, because eventually, I mean, nobody goes undefeated for the whole career. So eventually, I could lose one of these, maybe even two. Probably not three. Maybe one or two.
All right, we're going to wrap this up, so I'll let you get out of here. Austin, what did you learn about yourself from your time in WWE?
What did I learn about myself from my time in WWE? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a loaded question, one I should probably think about how I answer very carefully. You know what, I learned a lot about myself personally as far as the kind of person I am, the things I am and I'm not willing to do to be quote-unquote successful. I've learned that I value my freedom. I value my life. I value my ethical code. I also learned that, I absolutely, after 17 years of doing this, do belong with the absolute best in this industry. I can compete at that level. I think that's one of those things that you can be successful other places, but until you get in that environment and test yourself, you don't know if you're at that level. And regardless of wins and losses or placements on cards or anything else that fans want to look at, I know, and the people there know, that I'm world class. I'm the elite. I'm the upper echelon. I'm in that group of people who belong there. And so that was an important thing to learn. But also learn the kind of person I am and what kind of lifestyle I want. You know, what kind of energy I want to surround myself with, what kind of environment I want to surround myself with, what kind of people I want to surround myself with.
And now you're the Impact Wrestling and Impact Wrestling World Champion and the Impact Wrestling Grand Champion. And no matter where you are on a high level. And you will be at Redemption Sunday, April 22nd to defend the Impact Wrestling World title against Alberto El Patron, Universal Studios Florida in Orlando, Pop TV tapings. A lot of stuff going on. Austin Aries, always thank you for taking the time and wish you the best of luck and continued success.
Thank you so much. Great talking to you again, and we will talk to you soon, and enjoy the Miami weather. I'm jealous.
As always.